Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can probably tell, I'm trying something a bit different today. It's a new style of video where instead of taking a look back at the past, I'm going to take a look at some of the most interesting dart stories of the week that you might have missed. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Well, my background for today is the scene of the Bahrain Darts Masters, which, depending on when this video comes out, is either about to begin or underway. Now, it's fair to say it probably is the most irrelevant PDC TV event of the year, but there's still some things we can look at. It's a big shame that Bassam Mahmood, the guy that used the Nathan Aspinall darts and performed well in the World Cup and this tournament last year, didn't actually attend the qualifiers, so instead we got two guys we've never seen, averaging 55 and 58. Whilst that's a shame, I think the PDC have done a really good job picking their other 6 Asian representatives. I'm really looking forward to seeing more Manlok Leung and Tamora Goto after their good performances at Ali Pali. As was probably predictable, the PDC have chosen the Premier League 8 players as the PDC representative for the events, so it's not going to be the most exciting thing we've ever seen, but I don't think it needs to be, This is a non-ranking, essentially an exhibition event that a lot of fans probably won't even watch. A lot of these players get paid a lot to do non-PDC exhibitions in places like Germany, so it's no wonder the PDC are doing this from a business point of view. The importance of the event is being played down even more by ITV, who aren't even showing the event on one of their live TV channels. It's instead going to be shown live on ITVX, their on-demand service. Now, that came as a big surprise to me, not because of the size of the event, but because it's going to be Luke Littler's first outing on TV since the World Championship, so I thought ITV would have liked to put that on ITV4, like the Dutch Masters will be next week. Now, that information came directly from ITV in the press release which is displayed on screen. Now, this includes a lie. It says, Luke the Nuke Littler to make free-to-air TV debut on ITVX. That just isn't true because he appeared on ITV twice last year, in both the UK Open and in the World Youth Final at the Players Championship Finals, which are both on a main ITV channel. I don't really get why they're trying to overhype something in this press release, but they're not even showing it on one of their main channels. Now, despite all that, I'll still be watching it. It should be sort of interesting. I definitely think we could see Luke Littler maybe win it if some of the players get a poor start to the year after having a post-World Championship break, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's take a look at this week's next story. Well, we just saw Q School come to an end, and it was brutal as normal, with top players like Wesley Plazier, Connor Scott, and Alex Spellman, who I thought was almost certain to win a card after stage 1, amongst those missing out on tour cards. In the UK, we saw 8 players tied on 5 points on the final order of merit, with 4 of those making it through on leg difference. Darren Webster missed out by just a single leg, and would have been safe if he hadn't have turned up on the final day, as his early loss made his leg difference worse, much like Conan Whitehead last year. Webster was obviously right to be annoyed by that, but released a strange social media post asking why the European Q School had 3 more cards to distribute. Well, that's obviously because around 150 more players entered the EU version. Darren's misfortune doesn't show how the allocation is wrong, it just shows how brutal the current system is. Whilst it can be brutal, some players can ride their luck, much like Willie Borland, who only made it out of stage 1 through the final order of merit spot after his MDA stablemate Jacob Gwynn took out 95 to beat Stephen Moss in a deciding leg. Borland went on to finish second on the final stage order of merit, securing a card after only just scraping it through stage 1. When you get luck like that, you just have to make the most of it, much like when Scott Williams survived 3 match starts against Jeff Smith in the qualifier for the Hungarian Eurotour event last year. Williams managed to win that game 6-5, and then won another one to secure a spot in Budapest, where he reached the semi-finals, securing his spot at Ali Pali. And we all know what happened in the World Championship. He went on another great run to the last 4, the greatest achievement of his darts career so far, all after nearly not even qualifying. Going back to Q School, it was certainly dramatic to watch, and we got this tweet from Nathan Rafferty saying that he loved watching a dramatic Q School, but was thankful not to be playing in it due to Luke Littler. He even tweeted saying that he owed Luke a kebab. That's because Luke's run at Ali Pali meant that he went into the top 64 in the world, and therefore gets the tour card automatically next year, and didn't need to get one through the development order of merit, meaning that the spot went down one to Nathan Rafferty instead. Luke's run did have a negative effect on one player though, Steve Lennon, who was pushed out of the top 64 and lost his tour card, but he managed to regain it straight away in the first day of the final stage of Q School by performing brilliantly. As per usual, we saw many crazy things happen over the Q School week, none more so than in stage 1, when Darren Beveridge hit back-to-back 170 checkouts to come from 5-4 down to beat Greg Ritchie 6-5. In the final stage, Beveridge was one of the players to finish with 5 points, and he finished 9th on the order of merit, securing a 2-year tour card, so we'll be seeing much more of him. And this is all after he tweeted a month ago, contemplating if he should even attend the event. Beveridge's record for the final stage was also crazy, as his losses came against Borland, Taylor, Cromwell and Richardson, all who reached the final of the event on the day they beat him. Going back to the 170s, I can only find evidence of one other player doing the same in a PDC game, and that actually came on TV at the Players' Championship Finals in 2011 when Wes Newton did it to beat Mark Walsh. He actually hit the 170s in back-to-back legs at the end of the game to secure a 9-5 win. That's just crazy, and will we ever see this again on TV? Gerwyn Price came close to doing that at the European Championships in 2019, where against Vincent van der Voort, he hit a 170 and then in the next leg wired the big fish. Many of you will of course remember in 2019 where in the Premier League Price hit a 170 the leg after Michael Smith hit one. At the time of that, Okipedia tweeted saying that the odds of that happening were 80,000 to 1, meaning they were expected to see back-to-back 170s in a televised game about every 10 years, so we should be waiting a bit longer before we see it happen again. Back to Q School, over in Europe we saw some very interesting tour card winners, including WDF World Champion Andy Bartons. We saw a great array of nationalities with players from New Zealand and Italy winning tour cards for the first time. The event in Kalkar was also good for the Germans, as 3 of them managed to win tour cards: Kroner, Weinig and Wolters. Despite that positive step for darts in Germany, the German broadcaster Sport 1 were more interested in reporting about the failing of Max Hopp. Hopp was mentioned in 4 of their headlines from the event, whereas Weinig was only in 1, where he was alongside Hopp, and the other 2 German players that won cards were not even in a single headline. Big media outlets tend to focus on just a few players in darts, and it needs to stop. It puts too much pressure on them, and it helps nobody. Sport 1 also put out an Instagram post about Hopp's failure with the caption, "Darts Germany stands with you." Hopp's former World Cup teammate Martin Schindler responded saying that they would stand with him if Sport 1 stopped posting all the hate articles. The Hammer made it through to the final stage on day 2 of stage 1, but then didn't play in the first 3 days of the final stage as he was playing in the Modus Super Series, which he'd agreed to before. Hamilton received lots of criticism about his decision, but responded saying that he had work commitments and that if he worked in a factory, people wouldn't be saying that. Let me know what you think about Hamilton's decision in the comment section down below, and also let me know what you think about this new style of video, as I'll make more if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.